I was gonna just make them really ugly, but I sort of end up making a trans Voldemort. It looks like her transition is going very well. Absolutely stunning. So let's call her. She does something about the nose too. Maybe I'll download a mod that removes the nose later via the race menu mod. Ooh, what should I call her? Feeling lazy. I'm gonna go with Voldemortella. Sounds like something you'd spread on a sandwich. Okay. I have no fucking idea what this guy is saying. Huh. You're a long way from Hogwarts, Voldemortina. Trainees aren't allowed in Skyrim land, so we're sending you to the gallows. We're gonna quarter and dry ya. We're gonna put you on this fucking triangle thing. We're gonna put him on the chopping block and chop you up. But first, we're gonna murder Ned Stark. Didn't the Game of Thrones HBO series and Skyrim come out in the same year? Probably the two most important pieces of fiction to come out that year. And they both look the exact same. I have the volume like really low, so I can't hear any of what they're saying, but I'm pretty sure I could recite this all if you asked me to. Oh yeah, I had to buy this game for the second time on PC just to record this. And what a nostalgic feeling that was. It really took me back to 2011. Skyrim is one of the only games I've played within the month that it came out. It might be the only game I played within the month that it came out, other than like free-to-play stuff. Or betas or whatever. Because I really loved Oblivion. It was like my favorite game ever at the time that I played it, because like I'd never played an open world game before. I'd play like Spider-Man 2 and it's another open world game I played. You know, that was probably the only one. I know I hadn't played any 7th gen open world games at the time. Oh, I'd also played RuneScape. But Oblivion was like the first open world game I ever played. Blew my mind. I touched on that in the Elder Scrolls Problem, I think. The now infamous Elder Scrolls Problem series, which is probably what you've been waiting for me to acknowledge this entire time. God, it's the bane of my existence. I still love those videos though. Rewatched them recently, and I still love them. Unlike most stuff that I've ever made, those videos are good. I was reading some poetry that I wrote before a few days ago. You're like, Jesus, that does not hold up. When I played Skyrim for the first time, I didn't hate it. I still don't hate it, but I don't think it's good. I rented it in the month that it came out. People have asked me like how did you get your hands on Skyrim in the month that it came out? How would you rent it within the month that it came out? How is that possible? Like, I don't know. I live in a small town. I'm pretty sure I got it from Redbox. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. What just happened? Oh, I'm not dead. I just got knocked the fuck out. Okay, I've never seen that happen before. I'd read the Game Informer when Skyrim was announced. I watched the trailer a whole bunch of times. I watched funny meme videos about it. I was so goddamn hype. I watched that. Who was the guy that made the one music video? Can't remember the name of Harry Partridge. I watched that video a bunch of times and thought it was the best thing ever. I read the Game Informer article that was like the dude hands-on experience first hour of Skyrim or whatever before it came out. Read that over and over and over again. Like I read all the Game Informer magazines I had over and over again because I always read them when I was on the toilet. I still do. Game Informer's shit. So it's appropriate to read something shitty while I'm shooting. I didn't know it was shit back then though. I didn't. Maybe it's gone downhill. I don't know. But I just know now that now when I read it, I think it's the worst thing ever. I still read it though, to stay up on the times. It's usually not offensive to me, to the senses. This, I remember always looking at myself in this room and going back to change my character because they always looked ugly. Because I think this is the first time you can actually zoom out and see them in a third-person perspective. They always look ugly, and I would always go back to change them. And look at them again like, what the fuck? They still look ugly. They didn't look like that in the character creation. This is like the worst place in the game to look at your character. Right after you finish making them and get to see them for the first time. Very similar in Fallout 4. Like the first, like, conversation shot of your character the first time you probably see yourself after making yourself in the character creation thingy. When you're talking to the guy that comes to your door. They always look hideous no matter what. Plus the outfit's gross. Probably sell all this shit and get some money. I don't want to spend too much time in the beginning of this game because I've already spent way too much time over the course of my life in the beginning of this game. And that brings me back to playing this for the first time. Yeah. Super hyped for it. Thought it was going to be the best thing ever. I played it when it came out. And it's funny, all the comments on my Elder Scrolls Problem Skyrim video, like one of the top comments is, you don't really dislike this game that much. It just sounds like you played it 1,000 times and you just got bored of it. Well, the first time I played Skyrim, when I rented it, the thing is, I felt guilty that I didn't like it. Because, like, I was playing it for a long time. There was, like, the special factor of having played it for the first time and everything being new. There's a lot of hype around at the time. It felt good to be a part of the hype and to finally be playing a new Elder Scrolls game after playing Oblivion for so long. I thought the graphics were amazing. I was playing it on PS3 and I thought the graphics looked amazing. I didn't think it was the best one game ever or whatever, but it's weird. Look at this game now and it looks like dog shit. I don't think most games from 2011 look like dog shit. I'm not that kind of person. I can appreciate stuff for the time it came out, but Skyrim's art direction is pretty bad. It's a pretty bland looking game. And even at the time, like, the Game Informer review for Skyrim, which I think gave it a 9 out of 10 or a 9.5 out of 10, it mentioned that the textures were really blurry, and I guess that was on the console versions because the high-res texture pack wasn't out. But that was a criticism that a lot of people had. From the very beginning, people said it was a dull-looking, ugly game. Which people seem to forget. And there are some people that are like, this game has the most realistic, beautiful environments ever made in a game. It's like you're in a real-life forest. There are people who said that with the Witcher 3 too. When I was running The Witcher 3 with a mod that turned all the textures super low and made the game look like every model was made of chocolate. And I decided to post it to Reddit. Someone commented, someone was like offended that I was playing the game like this, which I wasn't. I was gonna wait until they got a better PC or whatever, but they were like, how could you? This is, you are doing this game a disgrace, and I am like offended because you're playing this on such a shitty PC and you're not experiencing it the way it was meant to be experienced. You need to build a new PC and experience one of the most realistic life forests ever created. Like, I played The Witcher 3. I played it on PC on the max settings because I can now. And, like, dude, have you ever been in the forest before? The Witcher 3, all it is not like a real forest. Have you ever been outside? It doesn't look like all the trees are tiny, are in the same size and identical, and it feels big. It's if you've ever been in a forest, there's not like you can just go between the trees. It's like there's if you're on like a nature walk, there is one set path with maybe a few divergence, and it's just a wall of trees everywhere else. It's not just a bunch of sticks standing out in a field, which The Witcher 3 definitely feels like, and so does Skyrim. But did I loot the yeah, the hood? I'm playing Voldemort. I just realized that I cannot have Voldemort using a mace. Voldemortella is going to use magic. Used to having lightning and fire. Oh yeah, if I read that book, I'll get the lightning. I'm already running out of shit to say. This is why I don't do Let's Plays. I think I'm gonna keep it going, but I don't know how long I'll keep this up. I might have to think of some topics. I'm also probably gonna be cutting this up. I don't know, maybe I'll be just really lazy. Maybe I'll be lazy and just not edit this. Maybe I'll fast forward to when I get out of this dungeon. Oh yeah, I was already meaning to do a Skyrim Let's Play and just like point out all the things I don't like. Like, I don't know. This is like my forbidden fruits. Like, playing this feels wrong, but so right. Not nostalgic though. Maybe because the last time I played it was only a few years ago. So I made that dumbass video. I was eating General Tso's. There's this local place that my family's been going to, like, however long we've lived here. When I was born in Kansas City. And I moved away to live all the way over in Florida. I don't remember anything about Florida, except for a story that my mom tells me about how I took a shit on the patio, and I got on my tricycle and I rode over the shit and I dragged shit through the house. There's some videos of me at the time. Then after we lived in Florida for a few years, we moved to Texas and lived there for a few years. I remember Texas a lot more well. I remember Texas basically just existing in the 90s. Like, in like, when I finally moved back to Kansas or Missouri or whatever, I moved into Shawnee, which is a cool little city. It was like, and I went to the school there, and it was like traveling forward through time, like hearing music that I never heard before, and hearing about people I never heard before. And, like, the kids there did not act like they did back in Texas. Like, everything was new to me. I was living in the future, and I hated it. I think that's a big part of why why I was such an outsider growing up, because from the age of 7 or whenever, I was not into what the other kids were into. I was born in the wrong generation, except I was literally born in the wrong generation. I was born in deep Texas, where I lived in the 90s until I was 7 years old. I was a time traveler, and I was out of place. I didn't understand anything. And, am I really gonna go over my whole life story right here? I don't have anything else to talk about. I started playing Skyrim for a meme, and now I'm recounting my life story. God. I'm not gonna go too detailed, since I guess I'll talk about other shit in later videos if I ever get around to it. Because the biggest shame, the thing I'll be most bummed out about if I die, as I enter the ghost spirit realm and I look over my corpse as I am mauled by bears from Skyrim teleported into my room, as I am shot down by police in the streets. The last thing I'll see as they fire 10 more bullets into my dead body in Detroit. Last thing I'll think is, I'm sad that all these stories I have are never gonna get told. Wasn't there supposed to be a guy with me? Yeah, there he is. Ralph. Hey, Ralph, I'm just gonna leave you here to do your thing. I'm gonna go off and forge my destiny. So the normal thing to do here... Oh, I got an achievement! Hot damn. How many achievements are in this game? I bet there's hundreds. 75. Close. But, like, Skyrim being such a big game and all the DLCs being added, there'd be more, but I guess not. Shit. Where was I? I was telling my life story. So I moved to Shawnee, and I was going to school, and next door I met 2 boys. One was a year older than me, and one was like 4 years older than me. And I'll call them by their superhero names, which is a story we'll get to in a moment. I'll call them by their superhero names: Blue Shark, and no wait. I was Blue Shark. I was Blue Shark. And the younger one was Black Cock. He wanted to be called Black Hawk. I didn't come up with the innuendo at the time, since I was younger, but yeah. People call him Black Cock now, as I hear it. The other one was shit, I don't know. Let's just call him Ralph. Yes. So, my first day there, my first day when we moved in, as we moved everything in, I was eating stacks, which is like those chips that come in the thing, and it looks like like carpet powder. Not a very appetizing display case, but yeah. Who the hell are you? Let's stop for a moment and listen to a song. Let's have him play The Dragonborn Comes as I tell my story. Is it now? Very nice. Now I can ignore you while I tell my story. Yeah, the first day, we were watching Shrek or Shrek 2 or whatever the hell, because we had it on DVD, I guess. Or maybe it was on TV. And I was eating macaroni and I was eating stacks. The house was empty and I love it. I moved around constantly as a kid. I went to like 5 different kindergartens. And when I was going through 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and 6th grade, I went between several different schools. But I was probably in 1st grade at this point, maybe. And I was eating Shrek and watching Stacks, and I got bored and I decided to go out into the backyard, and the backyard was goddamn huge. Back when we lived in Texas, we had a backyard. We had a pretty nice house actually back when we were, when both my parents were together and we were definitively middle class. And shit. I don't remember much about my time back in Texas, but I do remember we had a nice house with a nice backyard. But this backyard was a whole other story. We didn't have a backyard so much as we had a field. There was a gigantic goddamn field in the back of the yard, and it spanned, far, far away. It was just a big open plain that stretched out way over to a farm. It was within running distance, but it was pretty far away. There were some trees around our house, but it was just a big open field on from there. And so I went out there, and I killed mushrooms with a stick. I kicked him up, and I killed him with a stick, and I whacked him, and I killed all the mushrooms, because there were mushrooms everywhere. Mushrooms and dandelions. I think probably a good chunk of my time in that house was spent out in the backyard. Should pick a skill. Magica, obviously. Because I'm Voldemort, I need to learn more destruction. I need to kill. I've been playing Fallout 3 recently. It's a good game. Play that instead of Skyrim. Anyway. But this is definitely a sight for sore eyes. Because the only game uglier than Skyrim is Fallout 3. Especially when you're playing it on a PS3. That game is hideous. It is an attack on the eyes. So yeah, while I was killing mushrooms out in the backyard, I don't know if I met him while I was killing mushrooms in the backyard, but I'm pretty sure I met him the same day. I met Blackcock, and I was like, "Hi, Blackcock, how are you?" And he's like, "I'm your next door neighbor. Let's be friends. Do you like stuff?" I said I do like stuff. I probably said I liked video games, because I've always liked video games. I had some other obsessions while I was living at that house, but video games was probably one of them. What would I have been playing around that time? God, I don't know. I don't know what the shit I was playing. I like GameCube. I love GameCube games. I probably said to have. I probably didn't, but whatever. You probably just went, "Oh, okay, see ya." Or maybe we played a bit, I don't know. And so we would later go on to have a deep bond, and I would meet his older brother, Ralph, as I'm calling him. And we would be good friends for the longest time. And we were friends up to when just a few years ago, when I was friends with him on Steam, and I blocked him because said some homophobic shit, and I'm a big faggot tranny, and knew it wasn't gonna work out. And I was playing Dying Light. That's right. It was probably last year, because I was playing Dying Light, and I made a video about that very close to when I played it. And he kept saying, "Can I play Dying Light with you?" And I'm like, "No, I don't like playing multiplayer games. I don't like playing with people. I don't like using voice chat." I actually said at one point that I would play with him if he didn't have to do voice chat, because I'm pretty sure there's text chat in that game. And you just get that to me, no, you have to do voice chat. No, you have to download Skype. I'm like, I hate Skype. Just use Discord. Like, I don't want to chat with you. I want to do that. And I blocked him because I have multiple reasons. It was hard for me, but I did it. So rewind time back when everything was happy. And I wasn't a girl. Grade school. I can clearly recall what I felt like and what was happening and what was going on my first day of first grade. I was standing outside the classroom, and I remember my mom leaving me outside the door and just standing outside the door for a while, because I was looking at the list of names of all my classmates. I realized I noticed someone named Leo. And I thought, oh, I'm glad there's a Leo in this class, because I like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and my favorite Ninja Turtle is Leonardo. And I remember just waiting outside the classroom, waiting for my hair to grow. Literally waiting for my hair to grow before I entered, because I just got a haircut, and I didn't like the way I looked in the haircut because it was too short. And so I was standing out there waiting for it to grow. Adorable, and now that I think about it, probably an early sign that something was not right. I never liked the way my hair looked when it was short, but when I went into first grade, I guess my mom had forced me to get my hair cut. I guess I didn't like it. So, and we... God, what did we do the first day? I remember there was a big mat in the room with all the letters of the alphabet on it and little symbols that represent them, like A for apple and whatever. This may or may not have been the first day when like a guy came in and read us Dr. Seuss books, and like they had a machine that made pins. Like it was little sheets of paper to make drawings on, and they made those drawings into pins that you could pin on your shirt or whatever. And I remember my mind being blown. And I drew a cherry, I think, because I don't know. Like someone asks you to draw something when you're a kid and you're like, fuck it, I'll draw a cherry, because the cherry is the first thing that comes to mind. And there for the next three years, was it? Before I moved away? Probably more like 4 years. I lived in Shawnee, in that house. And, the Black Cock and Ralph and I would spend our days making up our superhero personas. I was Blue Shark, and I commanded sharks to wage war against the were-bunnies, which were mixes between werewolves and bunnies. And we fought the Doodlebobs, which were like little fuzzy pipe cleaner guys with googly eyes attached to them that we would make. And of course named after the SpongeBob episode when SpongeBob clones himself. So we would wage war against the were-bunnies out in the field. Every now I'll recall some stories. I recall running out in the field with Blackcock and Ralph and saying, "I can't get these damn sharks to stop following me." And then just said, "Did you just say damn? You can't say damn because you're using the Lord's name in vain, and that's wrong." And I was sad, like, and that made me sad because I'd been yelled at. Blackcock was a very hardcore Christian, as were his parents, and they would not be accepting of me now. Absolutely not. His dad had married his mom because his dad was a big Star Wars fan, and mom's name was Leia. And that's like, I guess, like, that's how they met and hit it off. They had, it had a really cool basement, I remember. Who were these guys? I'm gonna kill these guys because I don't like their faces. They had a cool basement where we played Halo. Jeez. I remember playing Halo and jumping down the stairs for fun. We would jump down the stairs and we had a mattress at the bottom, and I would fall on the mattress as I jumped down. That was fun. And another person who once scolded me for using the Lord's name in vain was this quirky little Filipino lad who was in my class. Blackcock was not in my class. Let's just call him Sasuke, 'cause Sasuke's defining feature, the thing I still know him by, was that he introduced me to Naruto. It wasn't right away. Sasuke was Filipino, and it showed. When you walked into his house, it was like you were walking into a little piece of the Philippines. It always smelled like ramen and fish. His parents were a lot more strict than mine. They never struck me as religious, which is weird for reasons, but I don't think they were religious, actually. Maybe they went to church and I forgot, but whatever.